Hello YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's voting video on YouTube. This video here was shot around the 30th of November of 2024, which was a fantastic year but was also considered challenging, and as you can hear there was a lot of Chinese into it, so of course yes, I've decided to voice over this part of the video, and thank goodness to my very fluent English, well, practically not. In this case, I'm just straightforward here going to tell you a story of what has been happening so far with 2024 and why this year has been such a dramatically awesome year. In fact, a very challenging one, to possibly say the least. And actually, it's a bit of a secret. 2024 has been so far one of the most, in fact, the most highly impacted years so far relating to me. Now, as you may actually tell, so far, speaking about, as I said, the word may, well, I might as well just start off along the way here and just talk about 2024 as a whole. In a sense, that year itself has been straightforward doing to me in a while, and I mean, it's quite crazy. And in a while here, as I'm speaking about that phrase, in a while here, I'll just straightforward show you some of the things that I might as well show you around in my uncle's car as I'm in Malaysia. Well, that's actually not the point here. What I'm actually on about is so far about my speech about the rest of 2024, and I can tell you what, there's been some very good scales and some very bad scales of just seeing how massive in the way my YouTube channel has been highly impacted. The most common feature about 2024 being on, a very particular year on my YouTube channel is definitely the utterly huge amount of uploads. In fact, it has the most uploads so far out of any year on my YouTube channel, and it's absolutely crazy considering I feel like that despite how much I have to really battle against the number of times where I've decided to go against Thursdays as the sort of day I would normally upload videos on YouTube, just like today, it's straightforward is a very good sign that, let's just look back at some of these things that we seemingly remember of, be it good or bad, or something that you can just straightforward dump right there and just forget about it. And blimey, I feel like I've been a complete pain in the neck as I'm just blabbering over this whole video on top of what seems to be very poor English and fluent Chinese. And I'm doing this because one, it's for privacy reasons, and two, it's there to straightforward avoid people from, well, let's just say my Western fan base, in a sense that, whenever I look back on my YouTube channel, in fact, the majority of people who seem to watch on my YouTube channel are those from the UK. And that's very much the great biggest sign that looking at the YouTube analytics, which you can't see it right now, as I might do that in a separate video of late, from, let's just say, if I have got the time to do so, somehow around at this time in 2025. Yes, we are stuck in the year 2025. I know I always mistake it as being the continuation of 2024 because both of these start with the letter F. But then, let me just straightforward think back to myself of what the audience, the general target audience of whatever country they're from. And yes, it's mainly from the United States and the United Kingdom. And I'm also seeing a very interesting rise of audience coming from India. And what's interesting is that apart from, well, let's just say the United States and the UK and India, I'm also getting audience from Malaysia and Indonesia. And yes, Malaysia is one country that I've been filming so far in the rest of 2024. Considerably, if I actually look at the whole, well, let me just say, imaginary, well, let's just say chart of whatever country the audience are from, well, I can definitely see that I can see the majority of the audience is from the UK, some of it is from the United States, others from Malaysia, again from India, I should have just said another from India. I mean, blimey hell, that would have been crazy. In fact, some from Australia, and also more from Germany, the Philippines, South Korea, Belgium, Brazil, Indonesia, a country in China called Macau, Vietnam, the Netherlands, Uzbekistan, Mexico, Canada, and France. The list goes on. In fact, there's actually quite a lot of countries that I've actually inundated so far as part of my audience. And what's interesting is that somehow, as I'm looking back, it's very strangely said that, hey, I'm looking back on some of the things that I would or would have never ever thought of encountering. And crikeys, this is absolutely crazy of just seeing how my YouTube channel has grown such a wide variety of audience from time and time and time and after again. It's in fact crazy to see this amount of audience coming around all over the world. And it's just so amazing to see why my YouTube channel is growing. But then somehow, as I'm looking back, I seem to have a very weird feeling that in terms of how many subscribers I've got, there seems to be a complete seesaw of up and down, well, let me just say subscribers, but then also the up and down amount of views that are on my YouTube channel. Clearly, it's been very difficult, and I mean, for one very good reason, not in relationship into my YouTube channel, but has been referenced so far multiple times on my YouTube channel, and that is my mental health. So far, around the early to middle part of 2024, it has been a very stressful part. And I mean, looking back at around, especially May and let's just say late April, have been one of the worstly affected sort of months to affect so far of my mental health and self-care during 2024. And to be honest, this feels like that 2024 has felt like a giant blockbuster film, and I can't believe I have to holler the heck out of it. It's crazy. But anyways, as you're seeing the fantastic amount of scenery and amazing architecture, including this beautiful mosque around Malaysia here, there are lots and lots of wonderful things I can really say about my YouTube channel, despite the trauma and the challenges so far that 2024 has made a huge impact to not only for just my channel, but also anyone else who has been watching my videos on YouTube of late. And you can definitely tell that my YouTube channel is definitely about 6 years old. It's crazy. Like, time has literally just flown relatively fast and has gone past by, considering that 6 years is straightforward, seemingly long, but then hey, it's not that far. And it just goes to show you the longevity of how much I've been working on YouTube has been quite utterly crazy. Although despite the fact that I've actually started my YouTube channel when the flagging and age restricting and the demonetization bot have straightforward been commenced, really stemming all the way back towards, well, let's just say in the early to mid 2010s, but also in the later part, more specifically August of 2017. As far as I can tell, I'm actually really good on dates. And no, not the fruit, but mainly in terms of what you mean dates. For that purpose, to possibly say the least. And I mean, just to let you know, as I'm being very honest here, I'm actually in a very large society bubble here. I've got people inside and I've also got people outside of the world. Remembering, our world is technologically wise, being built in a very social level. So in that case, be very careful. And in that case, it's just there for me to straightforward say, hey, we all live in a totally different world of society these days, and clearly that's what we're all living up to. Now, as you can tell, I am straightforward, being inundated by various cultures, and I mean, it's just so amazing to tell how humanity has shaped the planet. And with that being said, to continue on this whole lineage of me to just straightforward work really hard, despite the amount of adversity I have to really face upon, it's been very much an incredible achievement. And in fact, to straightforward enjoy the rest of 2024 was not very easy, but something I could really treasure upon. Something that has made 2024 such a very valuable year to really straightforward say, hey, those certain times that I can really remember, despite how poor the way I speak I am, and because I've been inundated by a lot of non-fluent English people, or in this case non-fluent English speaking people, as I can definitely tell. And as you can definitely tell, the language itself is straightforward, bombarded by a lot of like Chinese. So hey, if I was gonna say, well, if there was Indian music playing during Christmas time, would I be able to say, oh, you're pissing me off because you're playing the wrong type of music? It's meant to be Christmas. I'm sorry, that's racism. Because, hey, one, that's dehumanizing the whole world. Two, that's also straightforward straining people's cultures. And three, that's what you call intolerance. Now, in that case, the best part is to be very tolerant. And that's what Malaysia is being very good at. And you know, whenever you think about the utter level of tolerance, it's amazing. And looking back onto the YouTube community guidelines, they do really ban on hateful content relating to sex, religion, ethnic origins, or disability. Remembering I'm always straightforward adhering to these rules so that I'm actually becoming very safe, especially in stressful situations. Okay, so hey, remembering that my audience is straightforward, very varied. I've got people from Africa, I've got people from Europe, and I've also got people from Australia, and also people from Asia, the Americas, you name it, I can't. But then hey, that's just the way on who I really am. I'm trying to strive in and trying to fit in to a very important lifestyle that I can really say to myself, hey, this is my life. This is the sort of life I really want to enjoy. Clearly, that's something I really want to make the most before I disappear real fast from YouTube. And I'm meaning to myself, hey, as a very honourable and noble person who uploads content time and time again, but then after a whole bunch of hard work, facing every bit of adversity or whatever challenge that I have to really face upon, remembering that every stressful moment counts, that even if today doesn't go well, tomorrow will be a better and a newer day, as long as I have actually got the best solutions to offer. Now, remembering I have actually been inundated by so many very inspired and also very weird influences and also experiences in the way I've been working relatively hard to put up such an amazing video on YouTube. And I know that people are not always going to straightforward agree with me, but then hey, you know, that's what life is all going to be like. And remembering that as I have straightforward decided to put up some adult themes and adult words into this video, and I do really remember hearing one of my relatives saying the word shit, but then sorry, I just can't really help myself because, well, I don't often swear on my videos, of course. Well, I mean, I don't really like swearing, but I have to really put up though because, well, one, I'm a grown man, and then hey, you know, I'm just there to just straightforward test the whole YouTube algorithm and state that this video is not really designed for kids. It's there as an adult sort of purpose. Now, of course, yes, this isn't age restricted because hey, it's a nice drive through. It's a nice drive away from Puchong all the way to the IOI Boulevard, and that's the sort of place of where we're actually going to. Something that we're about to drop off what seems to be what my uncle's cousin, or actually my uncle's daughter in a sense, is actually my cousin, and apparently that's something I can really tell clearly that he's dropping off for that purpose somehow, and I don't know what was that main reason, that why, I can't really tell. In fact, I'm sorry that my English has been straightforward, being bombarded by, well, let's just say some very poor English. But then, hey, you know, that's the way it is because, you know, they just really heavily rely on the sort of language that they're really accustomed to, a Chinese speaking Chinese. Well, that's a very good example. But then, hey, let's not make anything into a complete negative feedback or else I'll be banned from society, and in that case, life would literally be not so fair if it wasn't for me for being completely judgmental and completely hypercritical. And in that case, hey, it's time for me to just straightforward shut the hell up and enjoy the whole video. Good luck into that point. Sorry for the adult words, but hey, enjoy with this whole video while you still can. Good luck in this drive through or in this whole walkthrough in the sense of driving, and I shall see you real soon. With our voice turning off, signing out now.
300块新币的 skincare，有，他现在很 diligently 的在用，他是很勤劳的在用啊。他现在每天看他脸就觉得他今天爆痘啦，很干啊。
这么买什么11分的？
专栏的分，
有人来看门啊？
有，他每天在刷小红书哦。小红书有看呢 ，Sephora 刚好有 sales 吗？
2个小时你可以做
2个小时。
8九就到了 ，OK。
这样我们这不中间要吃啊，对。怎样？
看了，
还是吃dim sum
this one thing。
then after that 可以打包，可以加一跟小弟，
Can
是吗？
can。
加油，不要加个可以吃了哦。
这个也是2个小时。
哦，不用在那边等你这里的啦。after that 我可以去载他。
你那个也要點？
我要在给不中。
There's actually one good question here. Before I should actually straight forward, let this whole video roll over towards it being silent. And I'm really sorry if I had to come along and do a bit of swearing because, hey, this is something I want to get outside of my chest. And that's for a very good reason, considering of just how allergic and contagious this world really is still. And in fact, the world is still right in our hands, facing against the absolute brunt of just how bad and completely precarious the utter conveyor belt of various situations it has been circulating with, considering I have to put this reassuring message so that people won't be offended beyond this point of the making of this whole video on YouTube. And curiously, I have actually found one question here. Now, here is one that I think is straightforward, very remarkably obvious. And since the completely and utterly massive arrival to Malaysia in 2024 was a complete and utter success, it feels like I can definitely give that trip an amazing number of, how would you call it, Oscar awards of just how incredibly good and excellent and salubrious this trip has been so far at this point. Now, I know my footage isn't that perfect, but I've actually found one question here that I've actually been popping around from my brain here, and that is definitely, when are you exactly going to be going back to Malaysia sometime in the future? Well, definitely not 2025 because I've already done 2024. So in that case, I'm actually going to hold it off till, well, let's just say 2026. I'll probably say sometime in that year. Mainly, let's just say, if I had to guess, well, let me just say sometime in 2026. Maybe some part of the earlier, maybe the mid, or maybe even the later part of the year. I just can't really tell. Or maybe early 2027. But if I had to pick one big part of when I'm actually going to be going back to Malaysia sometime in the future, and you might have heard the mouse clicking because, hey, I was straight for being a little bit uncareful in the way I was just recording things of late with my voicing over camera activated for voice recording built into the video editor, I would say 2028. And that would actually take at least 3 years to get that jump to see how amazing 2028 would have been for an amazing trip to Malaysia if it can do that. But it seems like that, hey, why even bother going back to Malaysia for holiday? And that's because, well, I've actually got a lot of online shopping, and hey, for various reasons, because hey, I seem to have bought a lot of toy trains there. No ho hum. And to be quite obviously honest, I'm quite prudent in the way I do things, and I seem to proactively do whatever it takes is whatever I'm going to do. And hey, I'm not that perfect on speaking, but hey, let me just zip my lip right now again and just continue on with the little remnants of my whole journey before I feel like I want to speak again. Good luck.
我的女儿在这边，我就要很 discipline 的，在后面就是这样子。我以为你是在这边，我要转到这
是啦，中间啦，这里也可以了吧？它反正有那种，
边。OK
中间水就要在上面哈。
OK，对，
这边也是可以骑车，直接一转进去就好了。
我最记得我们吃那个黑猪的，不知道没有了。一个是这个，一个是石雕旺，最凄惨的。
哇，那个都，哇，那个是。
我当然知道了。
我们看戏啊，他都有打广告，说他真人出现60多岁了。
这波段都没有了啊！以前那边是波段的啊。医学美容，
你这个洗多久？
这个谁介绍的？
百多200，接近280这样。啊？那个蓝色招牌小梦。拜。
Bye, Jay. See ya.
好啦，嘉怡。
See ya, Jay. Bye. See ya, Jay. Bye. And now on the return journey back home. But wait, this is actually a lunchtime trip, as maybe this is more to do with, is it a breakfast trip? I can't really tell. But clearly, you know, this is actually a journey to one of the dim sum restaurants somewhere in Malaysia, which I can't really tell. But this is Puchong, a little town located somewhere in Petaling Jaya. It's somehow quite a fantastic and beautiful place to straightforward have a bit of a hang around with. And during this making of this whole video on YouTube, it's somehow one of the most amazing, if not breathtaking videos to actually look at because of the urban landscapes and also the amazing animated billboards that you can actually see throughout this whole video. Now, as I'm going back to the actual subject that I'm in, and I'm sort of thinking, what will 2025 will be shaping for? Well, currently it's looking absolutely sparse in terms of the amount of videos I've produced so far, and the reason why it has been a completely and utterly small sort of amount of videos on YouTube is because I'm predicting what seems to be a complete downfall and decay of what I think my YouTube channel is going to be like. Now, as we're in the year of 2025 and we're gone from 2024, I'm actually sort of thinking of actually seeing a decay of some of my videos or being published onto YouTube, in that case, less videos. So what that technically means is that while I'm actually still uploading videos at this time, around 2025, there won't be that much. And considering of what I've just said, there's only going to be a tiny fraction in the amount of videos that will be classified as new videos. But this is one video that has been straightforward delayed, filmed at least around in 2024. And yes, I've actually got even more of that stuff coming out along the way sometime later on this year. And also some from 2023 that will also be archived sometime this year. Considering I've got a huge montage of new products, new flip-flap toys, and also new projects of animations waiting in the wings, considerably of just how productive time just literally flies by. And of course, yes, as I'm working real hard, I can't work to get a cent, or even in this case, a penny, as I'm just straightforward blabbering all the way from Mother England. Yes, you can definitely tell that Malaysia was the absolute paradise, but hey, strangely enough, everything costs money to straightforward strive in a certain place, including Malaysia, which I'd love to spend, how would I say this? Give it 1 or 2 years, or possibly 6 months, maybe 4 to 6 months. I mean, how the hell I'm actually going to be doing that? Well then, hey, clearly that's going to cost a whole lot of money. But then anyways, I'm going to straightforward leave my voice alone and shut the hell up so that you guys can see what's going on throughout our miraculous journey to Bandar Puteri Puchong, which is definitely where that weird dim sum restaurant, which is I suppose a Chinese restaurant somewhere, and yes, because my family and ancestry is from southern China, they've emigrated somewhere in Malaysia, but apparently those ancestors I'm with are actually born in Malaysia. So, strangely enough, it does sound confusing at times, but hey, it's a fantastic family to be around in, and it makes it such a beautiful piece of such a wonderful life that I'm in. Not, but anyways, enjoy the whole video, and good luck again.
在这间叫做五十里，黄十里。
你都唔記得啊？
其他喺度我哋一間啦。
Take the one in front, you see the cars in the truck.
Oh yeah, it's a car transporter. It's a lot of protons. Actually, there's about 4 of them.
佢坐喺邊度？
就不要跟到他这样近咯。
未要啊！哇，咁早就開門喺嗰邊。
要放在那个后面这边的。
爬我去。
右手边那边的。哦，好嘞，今天没错。
你去哪？
对。
你哋落色嘅。
我話你拉呢個識去哪嘛？
唔好，你哋呢度落，呢度落，嗰啲全部呢度落。
妹妹落嚟，妹妹。
And now for the return journey all the way back to my uncle's house, and I videoed straightforward in this part of Journey of Light. And I want especially for many of my flip-flap fans to just straightforward embrace of what Malaysia is actually like. And remember, those of the audience who actually watch from the USA and the UK, who are basically straightforward looking back at my YouTube channel and just seeing how it's like, it's straightforward, a totally no-brainer in a sense to see why I really love enjoying the film, to just see the amount of traffic that you see around Malaysia versus, well, let's just say parts in the UK and the USA and also Australia. It's amazing just to see why this country really seems to say everything but in terms of how busy the place really is. One very peculiar aspect is on YouTube I really do respect other people's terms and privacy and also other people's comments and also other people's opinions. I'm always straightforward, very happy to accept that. It's a world that we all seem to live in, and it's just so amazing into just how much time I can really just straightforward say to myself, hey, this really is what it is. Remembering that my content on my YouTube channel is technically not the same, so don't expect it to be some sort of toy review, generic wise, a vlog or an animation. It's also one of these videos, which seems to be a replica of what you seemingly call dash cam videos, but then filmed by a tablet. Anyways, I'll let you enjoy watching the whole journey back to my uncle's house, and thank you for watching the video. Please give this video a very good like and subscribe, and that's goodbye to my voice right now.
关的基金，我们Mother's Day 哦，送那个几个 percent 哦，一盒本钱才18块啊，是我这18块就有6罐，3罐是6罐，一盒，挺好看的18块，那个送那个。
出邊呢？
70出邊啊，佢買20幾扣喎，佢攞乜紙？因為係咩農場的嘛，我做農場，我知道，所以他認識很多這些老闆啊，所以他每次可以拿到很便宜的錢。那天他拿來送那個麵哦，外面賣2塊9，他拿到的價錢是9毛9。送給那老人家一個一包麵線啊！朱莉餅乾廠老闆我又認識。
他的农場很大的，
不懂知道，他不是他做老闆，他幫他老闆做，但是因為他很早期30多年前就做了，所以他已經是那個主管職業了，他很熟。管那个鸡蛋出哦，出去给那些老板哦，所以他认识很多大老板，地方的厂。
这他的鸡养的鸡也是很多哦。
很多，大鸡的大厂的。
哦，在哪里？那个农场？
马来哥也有，莫那边也有，巴耀门光那边也有。所以她老公就卖那种，饲料。那个农药啊，动物的那些农药那些啊，兽医局要用的药啊什么啊，老公就卖这些，所以2个人都是做这一行的。他以前叫张雨欣，你要做兽医啊，要做兽医，你来做这些卖这些兽医药很好赚的。
Agriculture 都是basic necessity。好像药这样是 necessity。
他的孩子都没有借他做这个生意，他这个连在妈妈，他自己后来没有跟那些大老板做，他自己出来哦，他自己又来其实这个公司，他自己在家卖那小鸡蛋给他老板拿鸡蛋，他又在 supply 给别人这样一些小的啦，又卖咸蛋，又卖鸡蛋。到中秋节那个咸蛋，卖几千。他妈妈也是那种10项全能的，不用睡觉，一天忙到我可以整天这样子冲忙忙一天。早上看他在旁边，像我这样忙，然后他又跑去那里，又上来。
还没有 retire 哈。
对，还有做教会的嘞，冲来冲去开会嘞，然后那个老人家住医院，他 还可以早上5点多就起来煮那些粥啊，煮，然后就去爬山回来，他就是那些中去医院里老人家，然后他就跑去机场，他就跑去那个阿马六家，他的孙就接他孙。
有些人的动力是这样子的，
哦，他是不可以休息的。
他才会有那种冲劲。你给他停下来，他就
像我家婆这样，也是不可以停的。上次你带他去新加坡也好，而且保重好，这个事情，看看能保重好。
是，也算闲了。对呀、
因为他做官了，
对
他整天要做高，做各种那个，还要找，现在又很好，我住那边，他每天打电话来，哎，我今天要做那个什么龟骨啊，那时要来，我要那个妇女又来了。
好啊。
就是很乐趣。才那个 lottery club 那天讲没有人分钱啊，因为早上早了就冲去那个学校那边分给那个老人家红包。那个也在那个考的，有些考费，我叫他我不在叫他帮我顾一下我的老婆跟孩子，因为这有2个嘛，哪里知道讲他妈妈叫他的老婆去买地那个shopping center那边坐在旁边看他分钱，
看看什么？
看他分红包给老人家。后来这种以前就帮忙这样，老婆就知道这样。我妈妈叫他我人就跑到哪里去了？这是手钱。做东西手脚又不快，算账。他又结账回来做自己，要帮人家做账才够力，自己要不手艺要不收又不交易。你真的是不用睡觉了。什么都要做，人家又把那些美人啊、残障人士做肥皂的叫我们去，他就一边做一边接电话，啊那个鸡蛋糕，等一下你送过去，哎呦那个楼里那个楼送到哪里去了？我讲你好谁你要那边我们做，你去旁边那边做你的生意。讲老公啊，
鸡每天都会下蛋的哈。
它有分的，你养了这批鸡就到这批鸡生蛋了，到这批鸡再上来了，是吧？
哦。因为我每次去看啊，这么多人吃鸡蛋啊，说槟城的 supermarket 这样多鸡蛋啊，马来西亚有养这么多鸡呢？
有，我好自己的，
是啊。
肯定你有什么好奇，听到家的。他讲如果一来瘟疫，那个很好。
是有 delivery 耶。